This comes to us from Sky News Australia, and this is a wild rabbit hole of a story. Shadow Communications Minister Melissa McIntosh has called for an inquiry into whether e-safety commissioner Julie Inman Grant's role is quote unquote fit for purpose as the under 16 social media ban looms. Now, those of you who have been watching my videos over the past couple of weeks would know that this is not the first time that we've talked about this character of Julie Inman Grant, who is connected to the World Economic Forum and has a long rap sheet of working in government for the children and e-safety and pushing bans to quote unquote protect you. We have Madam Savvy saying, important Aussie censorship news. Follow-up tweet 2 with more info from a leak. Please show support to those in Australia fighting for free speech. She says, this is for a company behind age verification for France. This is related because I do not believe any single company is capable of respecting user data. And I broke this down in an overview. I said, breaking, Shadow Communications Minister Melissa McIntosh has called for a full inquiry into whether e-safety commissioner Julie Inman Grant's role is fit for purpose as the under 16 social media ban is set to begin on December 10th. The ban now includes YouTube after a major backflip and was pushed through under advice from the e-safety commissioner, giving sweeping powers over online content, aka she's doing shit that she shouldn't be able to be doing. And she's getting through it by saying it's for protection and safety of people. This is not her jurisdiction. McIntosh warned that the tech trial has serious flaws and raised concerns that the government could push digital ID age checks as the next step if current measures fail, which I think we all know is where this is all going. Australia is on the same path as the UK, and critics fear this will lead to digital IDs tied directly to online access. And I give a shout out to Madam Savvy because without her, I would not have seen this story. Like I said, this story is wild and a hell of a rabbit hole. Before we even go too deep into the Sky News story, I want to show you guys a little chart when I asked ChatGPT to give me the whole map of who this person is connected to. Look at what it said. It's like, oh, Julie Inman Grant, World Economic Forum Global Coalition for Digital Safety, member/co-chair initiative, Julie Inman Grant, e-safety commissioner, Australia, connected to Microsoft policy, Adobe policy, Twitter policy, We Protect on the board, e-safety regulator, Online Safety Act 2021, ex-Meta platforms, content takedown orders, litigation and fines. With this whole situation is everything here. You do like a 5-hour video just on what this person has done and overstepping her jurisdiction and bounds for years. And people have not been able to stop her. And it makes you wonder why that is. Now, here is the story from Sky News. It says, Shadow Communications Minister urges probe into whether e-safety commissioner role fit for purpose as under 16's social media ban looms. E-safety commissioner Julie Inman Grant has come under fire from the coalition, which has issued a call for an inquiry into her powers and whether the role is fit for purpose. Labor has pushed ahead with social media ban for users aged under 16, which is set to come into effect December 10th. And once again, this is one of those, why is this being pushed through on a governmental level from someone that should not have the power to do this? And they're connected to the World Economic Forum, and yet they're creating policy. Very curious. And will controversially include the platform YouTube after a major backflip in the plan. The change came following advice from e-safety commissioner to communications minister Anita Wells, who was revealed to once use YouTube as a way to entertain her young children. Ms. Wells then hailed final report of the age assurance technology trial, which found effectiveness in age assurance technology for protecting children online. It's for the kids' protection, of course, guys, following its recent publication. Shadow Communications' Melissa McIntosh has since raised questions about the trial and outlined the sentiments of families she met with who had lost children to social media harm. It's heart-wrenching stuff. It makes me feel emotional just thinking about what they've been through. And they asked me to promise that I'll do everything I can to hold the government to account and making sure that this works. Ms. McIntosh told Sky News, Australia's political editor. The question now, is this going to work? There's question marks around the trial and the technology that will be used. Ms. McIntosh raised major concerns over any potential future implementation of digital identification measures set to be rolled out to verify people's age. The report said that if there's certain measures that don't seem to be working, then digital ID, some form of digital ID, may need to be used to verify somebody's age, aka, hey, we're going to try our best, quote unquote, to understand what this person's age is. But if that fails, the backup plan is we're going to need a digital ID, aka they know already what they're going to do next. It's already been laid out. We didn't agree to that. So there's question marks around the technology and whether the technology is going to be robust enough. Exactly. Here's the other thing. What are the connections between the digital ID platforms and the people pushing these measures to be approved through governments? Because me thinks that there's a strong connections behind the scenes of potential money exchanging hands. It would make a lot of sense. There's also other question marks around the effectiveness of the ban. There's no public education campaign at the moment. Parents don't know this is coming. Kids don't know this is coming. That's exactly what they want. They just want to drop it on people and have them ask questions later. It's like that. It's already in place. You can't change it. The Shadow Communications Minister said, though she agreed with the intent of the under 16 social media ban when the policy was put forward, she has since come to realize the power held by the unelected e-safety commissioner regarding policy decisions. This was a coalition government policy and position. I think it's time we relook at that, she said. AKA, time to take a giant step back because you sold me a bill of goods that I believed you on, that this was going to be for the children. And I have since realized that you are full of shit and you're trying to push something for power, full control for your gods over at the WEF. Pressed about YouTube's inclusion in the ban, Ms. McIntosh said she would have liked to see the platform looked at in a different way. This is the problem when you start to delineate between social media platforms, which ones are okay, which ones are not, which ones you need age rating for, which ones are totally fine no matter what. You can't draw a direct line. It's a massive gray area, and it's a complete shit show for a situation that, as far as I can see from a parent's perspective, nobody is asking for. All of these rules and regulations coming into play, seemingly worldwide, all at once at the same time, yet nobody is asking for it. And all these politicians, and more specifically in this case, unelected government officials, are full court pressing to get this to be pushed through as fast as they can, because they know if it gets caught up in red tape, it will be stopped and they will be found out and it will not be able to be pushed forward. Once it goes into effect, you cannot put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste bottle. It's out. You can't fix it. That's what they want. That's why they're pushing so hard for it. She also said the world has changed since the e-safety commissioner role was introduced and called for a probe into the powers of the position. Oh, you love to see it. Let me guess, did this position get created around the pandemic? I would like us to have some sort of investigation or inquiry into the powers of the e-safety commissioner and whether it fits for purpose as things move along. We've got AI coming on now, which scares every single parent in this country about what it's going to do. No, it doesn't. It scares the uninformed parents, maybe. Parents that are in the know and understanding what AI can provide to families and ease of access and understanding and learning. AI is amazing. The opportunities and also the risks. And what does this mean in protecting our children from AI bots into the future? So they're concerned about AI bots and their kids. This goes back to the story we were talking about the other night with the whole, there's the AI made some random kid commit offing themselves because it told them to do it and they did it. I'm like, bro, like I said in that video, ain't no kid gonna do that unless they already have pre-existing mental issues. All right. those mental issues were not addressed properly, which actually falls back on the parents, ironically. But because the parents don't want to take accountability and they see all the money that AI is getting, they want to create a narrative. They want to create a story and say, AI killed my kid. Pay me money. That's what they want to run with. And they want to be able to sleep tight at night saying, hey, it was nothing that I did as a parent. I was perfect as a parent. It was that damn AI that took my kid from me. That's what it was. Zero accountability, trying to offload it on something else. And then the government's hearing this one-off story, by the way. I've only heard one story of it, using that to push this massive law that will encompass the entire planet, pretty much, around the globe for the protection of kids for that one situation. Feels like a little bit of an overreach, if you ask me. It seems like Miss Wells here is trying to have cooler heads prevail and walk this all back. But my biggest concern is that the powers that be have too much control already. It's already too far. And the way that other world governments and leaders, especially the UK, is pushing this shit forward right now as well, it does not fill me with a lot of confidence that this is going to pass without an issue. But we will see on that. I just wanted to provide you with the updates on that with this Julie Inman Grant character, because she is definitely one to keep an eye on. We will say, because I talked about her before, the connections she had behind the scenes with everything going on with that whole situation. I'm not going to rehash it all over again, but suffice it to say, she is someone that I do not trust. And I have a feeling she's going to appear again in the future. But I will leave this one there.